Theo and the Secret Train, a cozy cloud story. Theo lived on the edge of a quiet little town where the streetlights glowed like sleepy fireflies after dark. Every night before bed, he'd brush his teeth, line up his toy cars on the windowsill, and press his nose against the cool glass to watch the stars. But lately, he'd noticed something new. A faint sound, soft and distant, like a whistle floating through the night air. It always came just after bedtime. Not loud, but there. Theo tilted his head. Could there be a train that ran through his town after everyone was asleep? His parents only smiled when he asked. "Oh, Theo," said his mom, tucking him in. "You just have a big imagination." But that night, when the clock whispered past 9 and the house was still, Theo heard it again. Hoot. A long, low whistle that curled through the air like a dream. Theo's heart fluttered. He slipped out of bed, put on his slippers, and tiptoed to the back door. Outside, the world was washed in moonlight. The air smelled like grass and adventure. He followed the sound past the garden, past the lilac bushes, and through the gate that led toward the woods. The whistle came again, closer now. Hoot. And then he saw it. There, nestled between the trees, was a small train station that wasn't there during the day. It glowed softly, like it was made of starlight and silver dust. A tiny sign swung above the platform. It read, "The Dream Line, all aboard." Theo gasped. On the tracks, a miniature train shimmered into view. Carriages painted midnight blue, windows glowing gold. Steam puffed like clouds around its wheels. A friendly conductor stepped down, a tall man in a navy coat and a hat that sparkled with stars. "Evening, young traveler," he said warmly. "Are you joining the route tonight?" Theo blinked. I don't have a ticket." The conductor smiled and handed him one anyway. It glowed softly between his fingers. "For curious hearts," he said, "the ticket is always free." Theo climbed aboard. Inside the train, it was cozy and glowing. Lanterns swayed gently. Each seat was filled with something wonderful. A fox in a scarf reading a book, a teddy bear gazing out the window, a little paper bird humming softly on the luggage rack. "Welcome to the Dream Line," said the conductor. "We carry dreams to children all across the world. And tonight, you get to help." Theo's eyes widened. "Help? Me?" The conductor nodded. "You have a curious heart. That's the best kind for guiding dreams." The whistle sounded again, and the train began to move. Outside, trees melted into clouds, and the moon rose to travel beside them. Their first stop was a field of dandelions that glowed like lanterns. A small rabbit hopped aboard, holding a torn envelope. "My dream blew away," it said softly. "I can't find where it belongs." Theo smiled and opened the window. The wind carried in a sparkle of starlight that landed right on the rabbit's envelope. It sealed itself again, glowing warmly. The rabbit gasped. "You found it." Theo laughed. Maybe it just needed a little kindness. At the next stop, they passed over a bridge made of light. Beneath them, 1,000 sleeping towns twinkled below. Theo pressed his hand to the glass. "Look," whispered the conductor. "Every light you see down there is a child's dream. Our job is to keep the tracks clear so dreams can travel safely." Theo spotted a dark patch far away, a place where the lights had gone out. "What happened there?" he asked. "Someone's feeling alone tonight," said the conductor softly. "Would you like to help?" Theo nodded. The train slowed beside a quiet house where the windows were dark. A little girl sat awake, hugging her blanket, tears on her cheeks. "She's scared of the thunder," said the conductor. Theo thought for a moment. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the dandelion puff the rabbit had given him. He placed it in the dream tube by the window and whispered, "Here's a piece of light for you." The dandelion floated down through her window. The little girl sniffled, then smiled. She pulled her blanket tighter and drifted to sleep. The lights on her house flickered back on, glowing softly. Theo leaned back in his seat, his heart warm and light. He looked at the conductor. "Do you always help people like that?" The conductor smiled. "Every night, but tonight you reminded me how." The train continued its journey through clouds and stars. Soon the horizon began to blush with morning light. "It's time to take you home," said the conductor gently. "Dreamlines can't run when the sun's awake." Theo felt sleepy now. He rubbed his eyes and whispered, "Will I ever see the train again?" The conductor tipped his hat. "Whenever you hear the whistle, we'll be near." The next thing Theo knew, he was back in his bed, sunlight peeking through the curtains. Was it all a dream? He rolled over, and there on his pillow lay a tiny silver train ticket, glittering faintly. It read, "Passenger, Theo, route, kindness, curiosity, courage." Theo smiled and tucked it under his pillow for safekeeping. Outside, a bird sang softly in the morning air. And just for a moment, beneath the sound of its song, Theo thought he heard it. Hoot! A faraway whistle, carried on the wind, calling gently through the day.